Have you ever wondered what really happens inside your brain when you decide to quit porn? Spoiler, it goes into a real state of withdrawal, very similar to someone trying to quit drugs, smoking, or alcohol. And this is where a lot of people get scared because they realize it's not just a matter of willpower. What most people don't know is that there's a critical point where almost everyone gives up. Today, I'll walk you through, step by step, the phases of this transformation. And with each stage, you'll see that you're not alone. Millions of others have gone through the same feelings you might be experiencing right now. You know that moment when you try to change a habit, and at first it feels easy, but then it suddenly gets unbearable? That's exactly what happens here. Some people describe it as if the mind starts screaming for help, demanding the old routine back. And the question always comes up: if I know it's bad for me, why do I keep going back? The answer is simple, and also a little scary, because your brain has been trained that way. Day one on, the very first day, many people feel relief. It's like finally making an important decision. Have you ever felt that way? That thought comes up. This time it's real. This time I'm gonna make it. There's motivation, hope, even a sense of clarity. But here comes the first trap. That initial euphoria doesn't last. Have you ever started something full of energy and then, very quickly, felt the weight of routine? That's your brain already preparing to demand back the habit you just cut off. It's like starting the gym. On day one, you're excited, you take pictures of your new sneakers, and it feels like life is about to change. But a few days later, the excitement fades. The same thing happens here. That feeling of victory is real, but temporary. Have you ever wondered why so many attempts start with enthusiasm and end in frustration? It's because your decision changed, but your brain hasn't changed yet. And without strategies to handle the first shocks, that motivation quickly turns into disappointment. Day two, on the second day, the first signs of withdrawal kick in. Maybe some light insomnia, trouble focusing, or irritation without a reason. Have you ever woken up restless at night and the urge to open that forbidden tab felt almost automatic? That happens because, for months or even years, your brain got used to constant bursts of dopamine. And it doesn't matter if you watched once a week or multiple times a day. If it affected your mood, your drive, or your relationships, it was already a sign the cycle had taken hold. Think about someone who drinks coffee every day. If they suddenly stop, the headache shows up almost immediately. That's withdrawal. With porn, the symptoms aren't physical like a headache. They show up as anxiety, irritation, or even sadness. Have you ever noticed how sometimes the urge shows up out of nowhere? That's just your brain trying to get back the dose of pleasure it lost. And here's the paradox. Even though you know relapse brings guilt, the brain still insists on sending that signal of, I need this now. Withdrawal mode without porn, the brain shifts into full withdrawal mode. That's when anxiety, obsessive thoughts, and even trouble concentrating on simple tasks appear. Have you ever tried studying or working, but half of your attention was stuck on that urge, like a magnet pulling you back? That's because the brain, without artificial dopamine, reacts like it just lost its main source of pleasure. It's like the mind loses its compass and starts spinning in circles. You've probably been in a conversation while your brain was somewhere else entirely. That somewhere else is the craving. Some people describe this stage as a voice inside saying, just once won't hurt. Have you heard that voice? It sounds convincing, but it's the perfect trap. The key is this: the more you understand it's just a withdrawal symptom, the easier it becomes to resist. Days 4 to 7, this is the most dangerous stage. It's here that most relapses happen. Have you been there? You held strong for a few days, but then a wave of anxiety hit so hard it felt impossible to resist? Many people even report something stranger. They watch without feeling any real pleasure. Scientists call this wanting without liking. It's a clear sign the reward system is broken. The brain wants the chemical hit, but it no longer finds satisfaction in the content. Ever noticed how the craving feels stronger when you're tired or alone? That's not a coincidence. The brain chooses your most vulnerable moments to attack. And here's the question: if you're not even enjoying it, why go back? The answer is simple: because the habit has become automatic. It's like scratching, a wound that hurts. You know it makes things worse, but the impulse moves faster than reason. Super stimuli, the brain's trap. Have you noticed how porn is always faster, more intense, more exaggerated than real life? That's no coincidence. It's what we call a super stimulus. Just like birds choose fake eggs that are bigger and brighter over their own, humans often choose the artificial over the natural. It's like a juicy burger. It feels irresistible in the moment, tastier than a home-cooked meal, but in the long run, it takes a toll on your health. Addicted to these super stimuli, the brain starts preferring fantasy over reality, even while knowing deep down it will never truly be satisfied. Think about it. Isn't it easier to pick up your phone than to face a tough conversation? Porn works the same way. It's the shortcut to fill an emotional gap, but like every shortcut, the cost comes later. That's why so many people feel lonelier and emptier after watching, even if for a few minutes it seemed good. So here's the real reflection. If the brain starts preferring the artificial, what happens to real life? It loses color, loses taste, loses importance. That's why the fight against porn isn't just against a website or a video. It's against how your brain is being trained. Day 15, if you've made it to 2 weeks, congratulations. Have you ever gotten this far? At this stage, the mind starts to cool down. Concentration improves, patience grows, and simple activities like reading, cooking, or just talking feel more enjoyable. It's as if the brain is relearning how to feel pleasure in things that once felt boring. Have you ever had that experience of going back to enjoying the little things after staying away from porn for a while? It's like cutting sugar for a while. Suddenly, fruit tastes incredibly sweet. The brain is relearning how to value the basics. Have you noticed how even a short walk or a light conversation feels more interesting when you're not stuck on artificial stimulation? Some people say music even hits different, more emotional. Have you felt that? That's sensitivity coming back. And here's the most important part. In this stage, the brain proves it's possible to enjoy real pleasure again without depending on the addiction. Day 31 month. At this point, many people report something amazing. The mental fog disappears. You know that feeling of lightness, like your mind is finally breathing better? Even though you haven't changed anything except this one habit, science shows that memory, focus, and even decision-making improve after 30 days without porn. And most importantly, the brain starts releasing energy for real goals instead of wasting it all chasing artificial highs. Some describe this milestone as taking a deep breath after years of polluted air. Have you felt that? Suddenly, studying feels easier, conversations flow more naturally, and even planning for the future feels exciting again? Have you noticed how, when your mind is clearer, even big problems seem smaller? At this point, many people stop focusing only on what they lost with porn and start realizing what they can actually gain without it. 3 months. After 3 months, physical changes start showing up in the brain itself. Can you imagine living without that constant weight of temptation? Many people report feeling a mental freedom they hadn't felt in years. It's like the brain has been reset to work more naturally again. Real pleasures, a hug, an intimate connection, a personal achievement become way more rewarding. And this is the moment a lot of people realize. Quitting porn isn't just about breaking a habit. It's about regaining control of your life. It's like going from a black and white screen to full HD color. Have you ever experienced that kind of freedom after quitting something that held you back, like smoking, binge eating, or even endless scrolling on social media? Now imagine that same relief applied to something that was draining your mental energy every single day. 3 months is the beginning of a new phase. Less obsession, more control, and most of all, more pleasure in what's real. So tell me, have you been through any of these stages? Have you ever tried to quit and noticed these exact symptoms? Quitting. Porn isn't just about breaking a habit. It's a deep process of brain transformation. And in the next video, I'll show you practical strategies to get through the toughest moments without relapsing. If this content resonated with you, give it a like, subscribe to the channel, and click on the next video I've prepared, because this journey doesn't have to be lonely. and your brain really can be free. Maybe you're in one of these stages right now. Have you thought about that? You might be at the start, full of energy, or in the middle of the struggle, fighting off triggers. The good news is, no matter where you are, every phase has a way forward, as long as you know what to expect and how to respond. And remember, porn is strong, but your brain is stronger. All it needs is time and consistency to recover.